And what do you know, I did get called in, but I was already coming to do invoicing, turning those in to bill them, and they wanted a second opinion on something. As I was driving here, they called it in. So time to bust out the MB2, and we'll check this out. Alright, second opinion on a compressor that was quoted. Let's see if I can pull this out. Power's off. It's unplugged. So I want to make sure these are good, and then check the terminals. So today we're gonna do that cooler repair, and we're gonna have to go get parts. Should have done it yesterday, but I didn't get to. I lost my keys for a while and I didn't get to go to the supply house, so I'm gonna do it today. I dropped off my kid because I was the only one that could do that today. Got a protein bar and some Ray's Energy. This grape bubblegum flavor is pretty good. There's a link for a code. I know some guys have messaged me that they already bought some using my code. They also have free samples if you want them. I enjoy them, and there's 0 sugar, 0 calorie, no crash, doesn't make me feel weird, and they got like electrolytes and different things in them to help keep you hydrated. Yeah, they're rushing me today. Kind of annoyed with this call, but we're gonna get it done. So they initially wanted the original compressor, and Tecumseh is giving me a 12-week wait. I cannot get it. I offered to get a Copeland. Johnstone had them. I could have gotten it last week. And then they told me, no, we got it. You know, they have maintenance guys in their engineering department, and a lot of them used to be HVAC guys, so they were like, no, we got it, we'll order it, we can buy our own. I go in there yesterday to go look at it so I could know what parts I needed, and you know, just in case, and it turns out it's a Copeland. So I'm gonna retrofit it, and you know, we'll make it work. It'll fit and everything, but I could have gotten this last week, and today they're like, we need you out by lunch. So I'm working in a cafeteria. So they're rushing me. I'm running late for my own reasons, personal reasons, but another thing is I gotta go pick up the parts on the way. Luckily, it's in the same city, a few minutes away from each other, so I can go to Johnstone and get what I need and go down the street to the place. So it's not that bad, but pro tip, get your parts the day before at least. That way you can just go straight to the job site. I hate when my guys get the parts the day of and they got me waiting at the job site. It's something that I hate is waiting. I prefer to get everything ready the day before at least and just do my job. But today it's my own fault for my reasons, personal reasons, and we're gonna get it done. I'm gonna try and record, but they're rushing me and I'm kind of annoyed because I could have gotten this last week and gotten it done because they're having something going on today that they need me out of there. I'm gonna have a couple hours to do this compressor, which should be plenty of time. I'm excited, but I was kind of annoyed, like I said, because we're going to be using, as you can tell from the title, we're going to be using Zoomlock push fittings. So it's a reach-in cooler. I feel comfortable trying this out. I've never done it before, and you're going to learn with me how to do it. All right, so I hate being rushed. It's going to be cutting it close to get out of there by lunch. But we got Zoomlock push. So I needed 1/2 inch and 3/8 to make this work. It's gonna suck if I have to come back for anything, but I bought a few of them just in case. And of course they got the kit so you can know how to install them. You can mark them. Give you something to clean the pipe with. So excited to try them out, but I'm annoyed that I'm under a time crunch. I would have loved to have been there an hour ago, but I'm running late. Had to get the parts. So thankfully my Johnstone just switched over to Sporlan, so now I can get everything Sporlan. I've been a fan of their catch-all dryers, but I mean, I'm not a big brand person. You know, a dryer is a dryer. They had Danfoss before. I didn't have issues with Danfoss. Nothing against Danfoss, but I decided to try the Sporlan lineup. And now they got all their TXVs and everything. So thankfully they had these push fittings that I want to try out because they don't really like me using flames here, open flames. So I have brazed here before, but it's the whole process. There's a bunch of approvals I need to get. So for a compressor change out in the cafeteria around a lot of people, because it's going to be busy right now, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to use Zoomlock push. They don't have the ones that you crimp yet with the press tool, but I'm not about to buy a $3,000 tool right now. So we're gonna try these out. I would trust these on reach-ins. Now, if we want to do it for walk-ins, I would probably invest in the press tool. But yeah. So we're gonna try this out. Like I said, I'm on a time crunch, so I'm gonna try and get through it, record what I can, and I'll explain it to you guys maybe after. So I need to take the compressor outside. I do have to do a little bit of brazing to set it up. So I'm gonna ask for the compressor because it's in their office and all that. So bring it out to my van, braze maybe 2 pieces of pipe onto it that are extended to reach where I need to. Take it inside and just push everything together and be done with it. Got a mess in the van right now, but let's go get this compressor so I can prep it. Alright, so we have a Copeland replacement. It's a lot smaller, or a little bit smaller, but I'm going to have to run because the suction on the other one's on this side and the discharge is in the back. So I'm going to have to run this up and over, which I'm going to have to go as low as I can for the section that's on this side. And then the discharge is going to be coming up from the back. So I got to make another brace so I can extend copper this way, and that's it. The rest of it will be push, and then I'll put service port on this one because the original had a rotor lock service valve, so we don't have that on this one. Shout out to Warrior HVAC for the gloves, super comfortable, and they actually work with my smartphone, so I can check my pressures and everything without any problems on my probes. So I don't know, check them out. He found me on Instagram, wanted me to try them out. They are super comfortable. I might switch over to these. I was using Gorilla gloves for the longest time. I know a lot of you guys asked me about my gloves. I like these style. Alright, so if you work in restaurants, they usually have these for their soup bowls. So I'm going to use that to hold this. If I can get it out.
Nope.
Alright guys, so basically I have it prepped already, sanded it and everything, deburred it because the burrs will rip rings from what I've heard, gaskets and stuff. So Zoomlock, we're gonna go with a 90 on the 3/8 and a 1/2 inch straight connector for here. I forgot to put this piece, we're going to 1/2 inch and I forgot. So we're gonna set those up. I'm gonna put them in place, take the compressor back inside, and then snap in the lines together, and that's it. While it's in a vacuum, we'll do the electrical. So they have a little depth gauge for these. So basically, You know, you go in there, you mark it. Pretty straightforward. You're just gonna push them in all the way. So as you can see, marked, goes up to the line, marked it here, goes up to the line. So we're done prepping it. Go inside, hook up the other two, and then start our vacuum. Super simple. Excited to use these. Houston, we have a problem. That condensing unit doesn't use a standard 3/8, so I'm going to have to make a quick braze joint. I got permission to use my turbo torch for like 15 seconds just so I can put this on, seal it, and then this end will be the Zoomlock end so I can put it in, snap it in, and do the vacuum already. It's always something. So that's what a nervous, rushed braze joint looks like. Just made sure it pulled in, you know, so it's sealed. Ass to get all this in there. There's gonna be a rat's nest in here. Still gotta do the suction insulation. I'm still kind of scared of the push fittings, but I put in half the charge already, 2 pounds, and I'm gonna turn it on and get the rest of the weight in there. Also going to be mindful that that's a smaller compressor, so the weight's not going to be exact. So I also had an extra wire for line voltage, and I didn't know why, like an extra 208. And found the schematic on the back. So I wired it up through the control and it worked fine, turned everything on and off. I'm used to wiring in the fan to the compressor, but on this one, okay, condenser fan. Fan wired to run 100%. Does not cycle with compressor. So right now the compressor had cycled off, so the fan stays on all the time, 24/7. I'm not used to that. So thankfully I looked at the schematic, and then I put that wire, extra one that I had, back to the fan. Because I had a photo of it, and it looked like that, but I had taken a bad angle of the wiring. And I was like, that can't be, why would it be 24/7? But there it is. Alright guys, so I came back to check on the unit. We let it run. I had to get out. I got out about 1 or 1:30. So I didn't make it out by 12, but we had all these little like hiccups and things that I had to do on the spot. So I ran a little late, but they were eager to use it. So I just came back to check on it, and we're gonna check the temp on it. I did charge it to about 75%. It called for 4 pounds or so. I put in about 3 after it was said and done. The compressor is a lot smaller to me, so I'm not gonna put in the full 4 pounds. What I was gonna do today, if I get a chance, is kind of top it off. So it's at 3 pounds. I just want to make sure that we have like, some superheat, cold suction line, sweating line, and I just got to finish insulating that part too, because I didn't insulate it yesterday. I got out, and I'm gonna leak check again the fittings, and we'll go from there. Hopefully they don't fail, but we'll see, because they have a whole bunch of construction going on here. I think they're doing they're redoing their AC system and their ductwork and stuff here, and they have a whole bunch of contractors blocked off half the parking lot, maybe more. There's a whole bunch of dumpsters now on top of, because I'm at a hospital, on top of the area that I think they extended like the morgue stuff, because they had refrigeration trucks and stuff here for that when it was overwhelming. So there's not really anywhere to park. I'm pulled over to the side, so today's not a day that I can really unload a whole bunch of stuff. So the only thing I might have to carry a good while, because I don't even know if I can use my cart, is the refrigerant tank, if I have to add half a pound or something. So we'll see. Hopefully not. If it's working fine, I'll probably wait. As long as nothing's overheated or short cycling or anything crazy, I will probably leave it alone. We do maintenance here every month on the reach-ins, so I might just, on another day that we're doing PMs, kind of top it off and tell them that we didn't finish charging it. And we'll see. Real world situations, and hope you guys understand how things go in the field. It's not always perfect. That happens. Also, you guys might have noticed, because I have a few minutes to kill before they close the cafeteria. I have a 30-minute window to check what I need to check. So they close it for 30 minutes in the morning, and that's when I can go in there. Anyway, what you guys might have noticed, and I'm sure somebody will call me out on it, I didn't change the dryer. They hired me basically to come in and replace the compressor. They did ask me, because they have an engineering department, they have maintenance guys, At least one or two have done HVAC before at another company that I know of, because it's kind of a small town. You see guys here and there, so I recognize them. But the compressor just didn't start. I basically came in and they were already going to order the compressor, so I had no control over the troubleshooting. Kind of looked at it and I'm like, yeah, you could use a new compressor, or you're better off getting a new compressor. It is a single phase, so it did have a start and a run capacitor. Normally in those situations you can run a hard start kit or something, but considering it already had a start and it was a pretty big start capacitor, just recommended a new one. Did not have a burnout. Normally we check the refrigerant or the system. If there's no burnout situation, contamination, well, I didn't reuse the refrigerant. I recovered it and I used new refrigerant just so we could be safe. But considering it wasn't contaminated or anything crazy, I chose not to replace the dryer. Now, they didn't even give me a dryer to begin with on the when they ordered the compressor. Of course, I could have put one in. I carry those in stock, but I was looking to do the dryer with the push lock fitting, but you need a special dryer that has a longer line on each end, so you have enough clearance to put the push fitting. Johnson didn't have them, so then I kind of was like, well, do I really need to change it? Then looking at it before I came out here looking at it, it had this weird T on it. I don't know why they did it like that. So the pressure control is tied into the dryer through a T. So if I cut out, what I would have done is I would have cut out the dryer, because I'm trying to reduce using a flame or minimize using a flame in the building because they don't like me to. I couldn't cut it. I would have had to have tried to save the T that it was right up against, and I'll show you guys, or I probably showed it already. So it would have been a pain in the ass, and if anything got trapped in the dryer, you get a blowback, you get a smell, you get that phosgene refrigerant because you're burning it, so, or the gas because you're burning the refrigerant. And I've been through that before, and it can clear a room, and I'm in a hospital. I'm not trying to do that. So I would have had to have cut out the dryer and cut out the pressure switch, and instead of soldering it or brazing it back in, I would have had to have replaced the pressure switch with one that had a flare on it, so I could connect it to some sort of T or something, or service port. And this one did not have any extra service ports, so it was a whole thing. I would have had to replace the pressure control, put in a new service port. Maybe a swivel T would have been able to, I would have been able to do a swivel T on the one port that I had on the compressor. And then I would have needed the Zoomlock push dryer that they didn't have. So as a tech and running, a business, because I got to consider my customers, I made a call to not replace the dryer. That unit is extremely new. So I went ahead and just checked voltage. I checked all my controls. There's not much to check on these. It's just a little digital control. It just turns it on and off. There's the pressure control is there for the low side. That's it. All right, so I stole somebody's parking. So yeah, there's not much to it. It's very simple, straightforward. There's not a lot of safeties even on this thing. So The system's the unit's fairly new. The system was clean. It would have been way too much trouble to replace the dryer, so I decided to keep it. Now, if we had a burnout, if the refrigerant smelled, if it was contaminated, I would have to have changed the dryer at any cost. But I made that decision on my own. Real world situation. Sometimes you can't do everything you want. And I would just say do as I say, maybe not as I do, because at any cost, replace the dryer. But I have to explain that to you guys, because I know someone's going to tell me that I didn't replace the dryer. Now, in the future, I might actually get or order those Zoomlock push dryers. I don't know if they're I think you can use them for the push fittings and the press fittings. So I just need to get them, because all they are is extended dryers, or I need to make my own. You can the other thing I could have done, well, I guess the other thing I could have done was do it in my van, put some 3/8 extended out on a dryer that I already had, braze it in the van, and then take it in. But there's a whole situation about the pressure control. They were not gonna let me do anything else. They just wanted me to come in, replace the compressor, and then get out. So it's running fine. They already got it filled up. Alright, I got out of there, grabbed lunch, and now I'm ending my day. I forgot to ask them if they wanted the compressor back, so I have the original here. I should have compared it to the other one, because it's a tall compressor. Usually I see these like on walk-ins and stuff. It does handle 4 pounds. And maybe, I don't think they care about me having it. I think I can maybe cut it open, see what happened to it. Maybe we'll start doing that stuff. But right now I gotta clean. I have a mess in this van, so I need to get to that. So all in all, these are really cool option. I got the 90s and I got some straight fittings, so they're gonna go here on my shelf. I'm not gonna invest in a storage option yet, but what I plan to do is maybe get into the press tool stuff, the ones that you obviously need the tool for to press couplings on your lines and stuff. And I want to do that for walk-ins. I think these push fittings would be great for reach-ins like we did in this video. It held fine. I was worried about the discharge line, but it's holding up fine. I have no leaks, and I forgot to check the temperature on it, but it wasn't super hot. And these are rated for certain temperatures, so they're marked on here 870 psi. I wasn't worried about the pressure on the high side on the discharge. And I had seen the temperature rating on them, but I'll put it up on the screen because I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember seeing it and it was like way higher than I needed, so it was good. So I got the little gauge. They even give you a Zoomlock marker. So like I said, they're gonna stay on my van shelf when I do invest in some more of this type of fittings and brazeless stuff. I'll get a pack out for it. That way we can have the press tool with the press couplings and then some, you know, the quick connect. So we can have options, you know. You always need options. This is kind of what's in right now. There's a lot of people doing it. If you're on Instagram, you see it a lot with RLS and Zoomlock and other brands. So it's kind of the future. There's areas where you need a fire permit, areas where they don't want you or it's dangerous because there's hazardous stuff around, flammables. Like in this video on this change out, I used both brazing and push fittings. So there's a place for both. They can coexist. And I think you just need to be prepared for whatever comes up, right? So this time I wanted to go all push fitting to make it easy, but we ran into an issue where I had to braze coupling. So it's not replacing brazing. You got to learn to do both, and that's how, you know, you got to keep up to date in this industry. Learn every day, keep learning as you go, and be good at everything. So I've been keeping my eye on this stuff for a while. Finally decided to go with it because my Johnstone has these in stock now. They're gonna slowly start getting everything else. It's not super common here. I've never come across anybody using it. I haven't seen it in the field installed anywhere, so maybe I'll be the first here, or maybe one of the early ones that's doing it here. And if you guys have opinions on them, let me know. If you guys have used them, let me know. I need to get back to finish organizing this van again because it was kind of hectic and I let it get really trashed. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. I got a lot more coming out. If you guys have questions, let me know. My next video might be another how-to. I'm trying to answer everything I can, either during the video, service videos, or like making a video if I feel like it needs more explaining. So like I said, just leave a comment. So see you guys.